This has a market cap of only 2,118,000. So that's pretty darn low, right? Trading volume is not bad, 68,884. You may think that's super low, but I mean, keep in mind, there's other ones that have been way, way lower, right? All right. So again, guys, total and max supply do match. There's only 10 million. So that's interesting. That's scarcity. That's extreme scarcity. How is this worth looking into? It might very well be. I will jump back to CMC because they at least will have a little bit more info on how it's written up, right? So bear with me. At least they should. Yeah. So we're going to take a look at a couple things here. Look at what's tagged. It's considered a chain. I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Based on 2 institutional ratings. Okay, let's go further down, or further up, I should say. Let's see what market's on it. Probably only on one thing. It's probably only on Uniswap, right? Yeah, okay, that's to be expected. All right, so sitting at 28 cents. Before we get more into this, let's look at this chart real quick. When was it released? Earlier this year, roughly around, what, February? So it does state on the far left here that all-time lows was April 3rd, 2023, and it was at 0.06. It's been basically a 364% rise since then. All-time highs was literally yesterday. Am I reading that right? Wow. That's why you posted about it earlier. So yesterday was all-time highs. It was at 37 cents. My God. All right. So people that found out about this at 6 cents, I mean, they took a chance on this. So you do see that there's potential here. You also do see that it's scarce, only 10 million. I mean, that is worth pointing out. I mean, I was thinking that this was going to be something with billions or trillions of tokens, right? Like a meme token. All right, so what is this about? Do we have info? All right, we do. Cool stuff. Let's share this for a second. It is a community-driven AI platform built to empower AI contributors. With community-built open-source AI models, users can generate AI visual art and list it as an NFT in seconds. The problem with current AI generative platforms is a credit system paid in fiat. Typically, those credits are locked into a single ecosystem without interoperability. GAI is a utility token. Okay, so that answers the question if it feels like it's a meme, right? To power the platform in exchange for compute time. Stakers on the network will be compensated to validate compute tasks. This sounds really cool off the surface. I mean, I'm just being honest. Alternative open source AI projects do not properly compensate AI model creators. The AI models that are available are community built, and an entire ecosystem has been built around incentivizing an open and free AI. Royalties on AI visual art sales will be paid out immediately, and a portion of the fees on sales will be sent to the original AI model creators. The value of a traditional NFT marketplace is collector, then artists, or collector goes to artists. With generative, the ecosystem will compensate collector, which would be greater than artist, and then artist is greater than AI model creator. Both technical founders have an extensive background in AI. 2014 launched a physical autonomous robot, which included chatbots, which I don't read all this, but this is good stuff, which received nationwide attention. Really? Huh. Wonder if I'll have to look more into that, maybe. And computer vision, AI and production uses around the world in enterprise applications. Both founders have provided development services in the Web3 space, from DeFi to NFT platforms. This was launched, we got that right, back in February. To ensure AI remains open source and not behind controlled, centralized walled gardens owned by large walled gardens. So it kind of makes you wonder if these guys are like secretly fans of like Gilbert Verdian, a quant, right? So that's kind of cool. Our platform, just with the verbiage, right? Terminology. Their platform went live in February. Generativ is developing a decentralized and crowdsourced network of AI compute requests, additional platforms support for synthetic media, video, chat, etc. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. I think it's interesting. Obviously, Mike Cornwell thinks it's interesting. So let's go to their actual site. Hold on a second. Can we pull that up? I think we can pull that up. Where the heck is this? All right, so let's take it to the website. I'll pull up their Twitter as well. Let's pull this up. Some bonus coverage, right? All right, so here's your site. Generate your imagination and list for sale in seconds. Huh. I mean, the art looks pretty darn good. All right, so all the things are listed in ETH. All right, so let's jump back for a second. Hold on. So, okay, yeah, it is built on ETH, which is not the end of the world, but anyway. All right, so, all right, so here's some examples of the AI that they have and so on. All right, so let's say I'm interested in the squirrel one. Okay. All right, no offers. I wonder if I could basically see if there's anything that has offers, because that'd be kind of interesting if they had something like that. Here's one about Elon Musk. Yeah, that kind of looks kind of cool. That's weird. I clicked on it and went away. All right. So yeah, here's a site. I'm not going to get into the white paper and stuff. I mean, it does look like it's pretty active. Like all this stuff says 4 hours ago, 1 hour ago. And as far as ETH, I mean, it's some of the stuff is like 0.03 ETH. I mean, you could do the math on that, right? This looks like a map from Call of Duty or something, or Battlefield, like Strike at Karkin or something. Huh. I mean, some really impressive pictures. Don't get me wrong. All right. So let's see here. Let's see their store real quick. Ask to connect MetaMask or Coinbase. Okay, I'm not going to do that, but you can look into it more. All right, so I guess you could say that's kind of impressive. What else do we have here? What kind of documents do we have? All right, so this is what we want to know. We want to know a little bit more about this. It's more like disclaimers and stuff. So on the surface, it seems like you would have to maybe look more into the white paper. I don't know. Maybe I do look in the white paper. I don't know. Let me do this tab instead. So I'm just going to open up the white paper. They have a white paper and light paper. Let's see the white paper real quick. How long is the white paper? Any solid white paper is at least 20 pages. This is 11 pages? I don't know about that. All right, so I'm not trying to create FUD, but I'm just saying. Maybe it's just too early. I don't know. It's been out since February. I mean, to me, 11-page white paper is, I don't know, it's a little bit concerning because a true white paper should be a little bit longer. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in a light paper, so their light paper is like, what is that, like 2 pages? I don't know. Let me pull this up for a second. So I think I pulled that up. Yeah. All right, we'll just read some of this on the surface. Talks about the introduction, state of the industry, Generativ's proposal, token staking. All right, let's talk about this for a second. So they got this whole thing. Staking rewards and incentives as part of the 30% locked tokens. 5% has been allocated for additional staking incentive to be distributed over a 1-year period. That's interesting because if anything, they only have 10 million tokens. As April 2023, Generativ Protocol generates revenue from NFT minting fees and secondary market fees. 50% of these collected fees will be allocated as rewards for stakers. Wow. All right. That's actually kind of impressive. Fiat Gateway. It's acknowledged that not all parties wish to utilize the Layer 2 GPU network on a Layer 1, bridging to Layer 2 and then performing their transactions. Generativ will facilitate direct fiat to GAI Layer 2 token gateway via a liquidity pool backed by staked L1 tokens. Collected fees associated with this gateway will contribute to the rewards for stakers. All right, so just off the surface, sorry, not trying to be crypto Hulk. Just on the surface, you will have to pay, obviously, with ETH to get the native token. But if you're wanting to use the utility, it scales, right? But like it says, you're going to use that layer 2, I guess, to like mint the NFTs and so on. So that's cool. You're not getting hit all the time with Ethereum gas fees. That's the way I'm interpreting it. I could be wrong. Again, this is brand new for me too, right? Collected fees associated with this gateway will contribute to the reward for stakers. Going more into this. Hold on. Due to the nature of running AI models and switching costs associated with the operator's bandwidth and so on. Hold on. Nodes may be opt to run a subset of all models. Hold on. Nodes will be incentivized to run models most demanded by users. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff here. Sample of a good transaction. Okay, this is good. A consumer posts a job with a bounty. A job contains the instructions and steps for the generation to be completed. Because, yeah, that's right. They talked about doing tasks earlier. A producer node picks up the job, performs the calculation, returns the work via pinned IPFS link. Once confirmed by the consumer, the producer is awarded the bounty. Job well done. That's kind of interesting because you think about like when we talk about mining, it's kind of similar. This is obviously not mining. You get tasks. I mean, technically speaking, I mean that's their utility in motion. So as far as answering, is there utility here? Yeah, there's utility here. Several optimizations could be made to make the release of funds more efficient, such as using ZK proofs on a ZK EVM to batch transactions. Well, there's Polygon, but you don't see no mention about that. I mean, it's very early. They have examples of bad transactions. Weird. I don't know about that. All right, I'm not going to get into all of this, all right? Okay, so obviously, just on the surface, as far as like opportunity, that's what you guys want to know about. You don't want to know all the technical mumbo jumbo, right? But, there's opportunity. 10 million of these particular coins, right? It does kind of bother me about the whole thing of the light paper. I just for the heck of it, I want to see what this looks like. This is kind of like an itch that needs to be scratched. Weird. So the light paper is not a light paper. Let's just be honest. It's only one page smaller. I mean, it's just small. It just slides basically. I mean, I guess they want to call it the white paper. I don't know. All right, so here is the white paper. Maybe it's just something they want to call it to kind of get people to go to this. I don't know. So it has visuals. Let's see. Is there anything in here that really launch features? Use the generative AI or pure created models to generate unique images from the text prompts, image inputs at no cost. Secure your work with immutable record. Using decentralized tech to verify your AI model. NFT marketplace. Yeah, we saw it. You can monetize your artwork. Yeah. On the Ethereum blockchain with the click of a button. Tokenomics. Talked about some of this stuff, right? 10 million in supply, 7 million in liquidity, 5% buy and sell tax. If anything, we might do a token sniffer on this one real quick. The tokenomics of guy staking are represented by the following. The amount staked, the amount which the block that's withdrawn, block you started staking, reward payout at block, total amount stake at block. With each iteration, your reward grows by the fraction you own the total GAI stake multiplied by the reward of that iteration. They have a roadmap. Okay, thank God, right? I was kind of wondering about that. So they already accomplished all these things from stage 1, NFT marketplace, all those things that we just basically talked about. Gasless listing. That's cool. Model provenance. All right, let's see here. And if anything, and Mike, if you're into this, you can let us know in regards to if that's true in regards to the, some of the cases in regards to gas. I imagine still though you have to have a little bit of ETH. I mean, to pay for the native token. But did you try to do anything more with this? All right, so stage 3 is not 100% complete. Decentralized AU compute. They completed these other things: post-generation image editing, image to image, and painting and out painting. This last part, AI music, AI videos is done. They still need to do decentralized model training, decentralized compute, and AI text. All right, hold on. Ready to get started. I mean, I guess I get their point. It is kind of a little bit of a white or a light paper in that regard. All right. Is there anything else here? Let's see for a second. Let me go to the bottom of this white paper real quick. So, AI workflows. You can nerd it out more on that. Hold on. Validators. Talked about those transactions. All right, hold on a second. I guess I'll read the conclusion. Hold on. Yeah, let's look at that conclusion real quick. Okay, maybe not. I mean, guys, just some of that academic jargon. So I think that's about it. I'm gonna check out their. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll check out their Twitter. Let's see how they do on their Twitter. Okay. I guess I'll follow it for the heck of it. Here's their Twitter: revolutioning AI through open source models and decentralized networks. Create art and help build the future of fair AI. 5,370 followers. San follows this. Now that is interesting in itself. San, as in San NL, always posts. Is always covering quant. Remember I mentioned the whole thing about these guys must be fans of like Gilbert Vernon. So that's interesting. Why would San follow something like this? I don't know. That kind of triggers me. That don't sound right. I'm not. Never mind. I don't want to make this political. Anyway, interest me. Okay. So they have this pinned tweet. We are thrilled from July 20th, the release of Generative's second token gated feature. Create AI videos with just a text prompt. Wow, that looks actually realistic. All right. I mean, just, ray tracing technology. All right. September 25th, they're proud to announce that they reached 1,000 GAI holders. You got to keep in mind, there's only 10 million of the tokens. Massive milestone for the project community. I mean, yeah, I guess so. All right. How about anything else? Let's see here. Man, that might be good, but hold on. Let me see if there's anything really, really good. All right, so there's no limit what you can achieve. This image below is from a scene of PUBG Mobile parachuting scene, generated with stability AI. Okay, well, I guess he's a fan. You can enhance your images. All right, 1,000 holders. Create your own AI art, obviously. All right, let me see if there's anything else that kind of stands out. I mean, for some of the people that hold this, they're like, all this stuff stands out. It's looking for the perspective of like, the newcomers, you, me, and so on, right? All right, let's see. Might wrap this up here soon. Huh. All right. I'm not really seeing anything else. So to be honest, I think we got into the main thing about it, right? But your key takeaway should be that all time, this is up 97.17%. Let me pull this back up. Sorry. And that only has, that's scarcity. I mean, only 10 million of these things. I mean, it might be worth looking into. All right, let's see if I can pull up the contract real quick. I always say real quick, but is it real quick? All right, okay, I got the contract. Let's take you over to Token Sniffer and let's sniff it. Right? Sounds so bad. All right. All right, here it is. This is from Token Sniffer in regards to generative AI. Okay. Put that in there. We understand that Token Sniffer is not the end all be all, but sometimes it's a nice source, gives you an idea of what the heck is going on, right? So, all right. They did have this. Wow, there's one on Pulse Chain too. That's kind of interesting. All right, but nonetheless, we're gonna pull the one from ETH because that's the one that we know about, right? This whole thing from Pulse Chain, I don't know what the heck that's all about. Not gonna get into that. All right, let's see what it populates. Okay, so score is not that great. 55 on 100. Why is that? So, all right. So for one, the start at the top part looks good. Token is sellable. There is a buy fee of 5%, sell fee of 5%. So it passes on that. Verify contract source, but the ownership is renounced or does not contain the owner contract. On this one, it says, right, ownership functionality and ownership is not renounced, which may allow the creator or current owner to modify the contract behavior, such as disabling selling, changing fees, or emit new tokens. There could be legitimate reasons for not renouncing the ownership. That's true. That's true. All right, how about this part? Holder analysis. This is another thing I got flagged on. All right, so a good thing is that the owner creator wallet contains less than 5% of the circulating token supply. It says roughly 0%, but I mean, in reality, it could be like 0.1. It just doesn't show that. So the part that gets flagged, all other holders possess less than 5% of the circulating token supply. There is a wallet that contains a substantial amount of tokens, which could have a large impact on the token price if sold. So what's the bottom line here, right? There's a whale wallet, right? So there's not, from my understanding, there's not an anti-whale measure. You never saw that mentioned. At least on the surface, we never saw that mentioned. So again, we talk about that risk. This is, it's scarce. There's still a little bit of risk, right? Let's just be honest. All right. What about these other things? Does it pass? Well, there is adequate liquidity, which is good. There's 152.22 ETH. Wow, that's not bad. There's an initial liquidity, adequate liquidity there with originally 11 ETH. They do have at least 95% of liquidity burned or locked for 15 days. It says 19.95% was burned. 80% is in Unicrypt until February 19th of 2024. So that's a nice lockup, and that's good stuff. And the last part, owner/creator wallet contains less of 5% of the liquidity. That way it's not like, increases the chances of being rugged. So again, one of the main things that gets flagged is, a whale wallet could dump, right? Basically speaking. And then the ownership renounced. I mean, they could technically make new tokens. So there's one of the things that attracts a lot of us, obviously Mike Cornwell and whoever else, is there's only 10 million of them and so on. But there is the possibility, it's just a possibility. I'm not saying that that's going to be the case, that they could mint more. All right. So just keep in mind that. But other than that, I mean, I don't know, man. I honestly think if they had an anti-whale measure here, this probably would get a 75 if this didn't have this flag. From my own experience, I'm not saying that I'm like the end all be all when it comes to this, but I have been doing this stuff for a long time. I mean, probably a year and a half of looking at contracts. I mean, with token sniffer and other thing, anybody could do this, right? Anyway, yeah, you take away this one, you put an anti-whale measure on there. They do like a new, I don't know, audit or whatever, if they choose to do so. Maybe they never do. I don't know. But yeah, from my experience, this will increase that score to at least like 75, maybe 80, possibly. Because everything else sounds really good, I mean, there's other projects to do ownership renounce. I think MMAI does that. I mean, I think MMAI is pretty good, and they've been around for a little over a year now. So there's ones that do that type of stuff. So again, guys, do more of your own research. I don't think 55 out of 100 makes this thing fail. And, if we talk about risk to reward ratio, again, there's some risk, obviously. Go into the project just on the surface. I mean, one thing we need to do real quick, and I know we keep going back and forth, but I want to show you guys this. Let me see. Let's pull this up again. Show this tab instead. So there is no mention about the team, and, it's like, I don't know. I mean, sometimes people want devs to be docs. Some people say it doesn't really matter. I mean, look at Shiba Inu. In some cases, it matters. I mean, those are the Cokes and Pepsis, if you will. Again, this is a small market cap one. So if this was a situation where there was billions or trillions of tokens, I would probably say I don't even want to mess with this. But there's not. There's only 10 million on the total and max supply. So I don't know. It has its positives and negatives, right? Yeah, it does. Look more into it for yourself. Like it says, community first, Web3 AI, and draw your own conclusion if it's even worth getting into. For me, traditionally, I stick more to the blue chips. If I'm going to be throwing a certain amount of money at something like this, I mean, I don't put thousands of dollars into something like that. You know what I mean? I might just go with, I don't know, maybe a couple $100 or something like that. Because for one, you do have the scarcity. But number two, it's like, if I'm going to throw thousands of dollars or something, I'm going to be throwing it at, like, some of the blue chips because they're super cheap. And that's where it's at for me, right? There's one thing to do like potential 10x. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong making a 10x. But that's where I'm at in my crypto journey right now. You got to keep in mind, I'm not bragging, but I'm about $78,000 reinvested in crypto. I'm really close to my limit of being, you guys know my story, 10K to 120K. I'm not trying to put the whole 110 right into crypto. Like, I do need to have some other reserves for myself and so on. So I am really picky when it comes to this stuff. And again, I'm just looking for the perspective on all this, right? And this is no bash on any project. If you have an instance of it's just a 10x, and I put, like, I'm saying to myself, all right, do I put, this is an example, right? I put $500 into this. Should I put $500 into this, or should I put $500 into, like, more into Hedera or XDC or some of these other ones? I understand the whole thing about low market cap, and that is attractive. And there's only 10 million of these. But if I see any hints in the future, not saying I get into this for sure, I might, of like more tokens being distributed. I'm just saying, for me personally, I'd be done. I would be done with it. I'd be like, this is BS. Because what happens at the height of the bull market? You know what I mean? And there's more that are deployed. But if they have no track record at all of that ever happening, then that's good. Obviously, that's good. Man, I can't believe I did a deep dive on that. I wasn't trying to do a deep dive on that. But it is what it is. I'm sure it's super late now. It's 10 o'clock at night. My God, man. I'm going to get going.